Hello, welcome to another edition of Cracking the Cryptic. We are going to look at a cryptic puzzle today. I'm going to do the times crossword. I'll talk through it as I go. Friday's puzzle tends to be the hardest of the week. Not always, but as a general rule, we don't expect Fridays to be terribly easy. So let's see. Prop, you said, caught by Belfast's flankers and lock. Well, I want this to be where it certainly involves the letters B and T somehow for the flanking letters of the word Belfast, but I don't know. Throws out black cats. Okay, well, in a nightclub context, if you throw someone out, you bounce them. B can be abbreviation for black. I think that comes from chess. And then ounces are cats. So not that easy, but I'm glad we've got that one. Strategy adopted by men due to work or not. Strategy. Okay, well, ploy is a word that means strategy, and I can think that some employ is certainly a word about work. So how about unemployed? That would be interesting. So that's got by men due. Okay, it's an anagram of men due, which is working, i.e. it's being anagrammed around a word which means strategy. And then the or not question mark is saying, is just referring to the words of the clue as being necessary to understand the definition. Men who don't work obviously are unemployed. Let's have a look at this. Article on overthrown officer rude in Iran. Ooh, well, an article is, the definite article is the. So I'm wondering if I put the at the start here, and then I was just trying to think of something related to Iran that we could put in here, and the word theocracy is possible, I guess. So let's see if that could be right. On article the, an overthrown officer, commanding officer is a CO, so that's then reversed. Something that's rude is racy. So theocracy is the answer. So Iran question mark is saying that Iran is an example of the answer. That's definitely not easy. I think that's quite a decent solve. 10 across, bird and dog lays in Manhattan area perhaps. Bird. Oh dear. It's going to be the name of a bird, I think. Probably has city around the outside. Let's come back to it. Viewpoint associated with times sub. No, I'm not seeing that one. Roughneck turning, criminal in early period. Okay, well, here, the way I got this was I looked at this Y and I saw roughneck turning at the start. So I'm looking for, I thought, a three-letter word for a roughneck that I needed to reverse. Now the most obvious one that begins with Y is yob. So if you have this as the start, we know we're looking for an early period. Well, the only thing I could think of there was boyhood. And a criminal is a hood. So not too difficult, but we were seriously helped by having the Y there. Foul American kills fish. Okay, well, I haven't got this, but I have thought of a word, an American word for killing somebody. So there are two words you need to think of in this context that come up occasionally. One is ice, they refer to icing people, and the other is off, offing people. So if American kills was the word offs, and then we're looking for a foul. What about in a football context? Offside would be a foul. And an eyed, this little word here, is a type of fish. A bit of crossword ease there. You'll only probably ever come across that in crosswords, but it's such a useful collection of letters for a compiler that it does come up from time to time. Appalling hotel that is recalled by us abroad. Okay. Well, there's more crossword ease here. Hotel is the international phonetic or radio alphabet, so that's H. That is recalled is saying reverse IE. So id est obviously means that is. So reverse IE, and we get EI obviously. And then what could us abroad mean? Well, here they're talking about a translation from French of the word us. And I think that would be new. So I think heinous obviously means appalling. Addict, to make no gains at all. If you make no gains at all, you win 0. So this is a sort of pun on that, and a wino obviously is an addict. Charming helpers, or fairy godmother maybe. Let's have a look at that. Good faith, fair, and merry fooling around. Yes, it's an anagram of good faith and the word merry. I think that adds up to 14 letters, and you can see fairy godmother is coming out of that. Get wrong place to eat on a plane. Get wrong. Mess up. Place to eat is a mess, and if you're on a plane, you're up in the air. So you see how the way to solve that clue was just to read it carefully. It's very easy to read that as get wrong place to eat. But if you split it correctly and just read get wrong, then with the letters we had, it became very doable. It could be explosive. Booby trap. Blunder litigants turned up. A blunder is a boob, and a litigant is a party. If you're a party to a case, you're a litigant. So that looks good there. Now I'm wondering about this, because I remember we had the word times in the clue. And if you say 3 times 4, for example, another way of saying that would be 3 by 4. So we can use by as a synonym for times. So now can we solve the clue? A sub is a standby. So a viewpoint, if you take a stand, you take a viewpoint. And standby obviously is a sub, as in a deputy. Look at this one. Place covered by grass is viewed well. Place. Reputed. Okay. So if you place something, you put it. And that's covered by reed, which is a type of grass, obviously R-E-E-D. What's this thing going to be? Cocktail. Oh, cocktail. Manhattan is a cocktail. Bird and dog. Yes, a bird is a cock. If you dog somebody, you tail them. Lays in Manhattan area. Perhaps cocktail. Oh, I can't quite see the ending, but question, one with foxy clothing in flamboyant fashion. Question. One with foxy clothing. Well, actually I have got that. I was thinking of the short synonyms for question, and I'm having to rule out Q, because a Q&A would be a question and answer. So Q can be an abbreviation for question, but here we actually need either how or who, which would be the short forms of question. If we put how here, suddenly it becomes much clearer. So we're looking for a word that means in flamboyant fashion. You can see we've got question 1, so this is how, I for 1. Let's put sly, which can mean foxy around the outside, and we've got showily, which is the answer. Now, could this be buttress now? Yes. If you prop something, you buttress it. Now, this you said is saying, let's find a homophone for the word you, and that's simply the letter U. You know, that they would both be pronounced the same way. Now that's caught by Belfast flankers, so we were looking for a B and a T, so we put the U in the B and the T and add a 5-letter word which means lock, and a lock in a hair context is a tress. There we go, we've done half of it. Put up with drinks initially punch. Okay. Again, just needs careful reading this one. This is a type of punch, as in boxing punch. And we need drinks initially. So drinks initially, that could be hinting at the letter D, but we also need to consider it could be just the name of some drinks at the start of this answer. How you were putting them initially in the answer. And a collective word for a group of drinks could be a round of drinks. And now you can probably all see the punch we need is a roundhouse. And if you put up, you house. Dip in alcohol, fit for diner. Dip in alcohol. Fit for diner. Oh, I should be able to solve that. I can't. Adept on piano, the playing is diviner. Again, I'm not seeing that one either. The English lady trembling with passion. Okay, this could, I wonder if this could be an anagram of the, e, and lady. And that, I think you can get heatedly out of that, which would certainly mean with passion. Let's go back to this one. Fit for diner. Al dente? A dip is a dent. Yes, okay. So this is dent for dip, in ale for alcohol, fit for diner, al dente. Let's try this one now. Adept. Okay, on piano, the playing. Well, the playing looks like an anagram of the word the to me. Now I can see, look, we've got an H and a T, so if I add an E to that. Now, adept on piano, the playing is diviner. So I want to put a P in there for piano. Prophet. If you're adept, an adept is a pro. P for piano, and het being an anagram of the. Prophet obviously is a divine. I was a bit slow there, sorry. Some current politicians hiding before backing America's leader. Well, some current. Now that could be amperes. Politicians hiding before backing America's leader. I'm sure I understand the hiding there. I can see politicians. Oh, I see. Politicians is MPs. It's the plural. Members of Parliament. So it's MP plus S for politicians. They're hiding, i.e. they're surrounding the word before, which is ear here, E-R-E. And that's all next to America's leader, the letter A. Online rush for event in theatre. An event in theatre would be a surgery, so we're not thinking of a play here, so let's think about surgery. Now, online rush, well, a rush is a surge. A surge is being put on a type of line, and a type of line is a railway line, RY here. So, figured that one out. So this is going to be something hound, is it? Something like that. Horse and badger eating mineral in medicinal plants. Oh, goodness. Well, I'm not sure about this. I'm wondering if there is a word whorehound. Where am I getting that from? I've never heard this word before in my life, by the way. Well, horse could be H, That's an abbreviation. Badger, if you badger somebody, you hound them, and they're eating a word for a mineral. Well, a word for a mineral might be ore, although I'm really worried it could be another something else. And then a medicinal plant, well, maybe it's whorehound. Let's see if at least we can justify the H. Worry about woman in flood. Woman could be she, maybe. Flood would be a freshet, fret around the outside. No, I'm not sure. Let's try this one. Turned up during criminal ram raid. Well, that's going to be an anagram. Ram raid somehow. To give message. Radiogram, maybe? That'd be right. Let's put that in and just see if it makes any sense at all. Certainly, yes, a turn is a go, and that's going upwards. It's being reversed in an anagram of ram raid. So that does look right. Okay. Right, in retreat, heroic, national leaders' instructions. Well, instructions could be a recipe, so that's immediately what I'm thinking here. In retreat. Oops, that's a good spell. Recipe. Well, heroic could be epic, couldn't it? And then a national leader is our Queen, Elizabeth Regina there, ER. Very common abbreviation in crosswords. About 50. Tips for first date in Rome. This could be a word I don't know as well. Let's try 9 across. Bearing king on throne. Well, I wonder if this could be look. Throne, in a sort of slightly facetious sense, is Lou or Lav. So Lou plus a K for king. K can be an abbreviation for king, as in chess. That's how you would write king's move down. That would give bearing, and a look is a bearing, so I quite like that answer. Page with note about Polish or Polish sound. Page with note about Polish sound. Phoneme? Yeah, that could be right. It is right, gosh. Right, I'm lucky here. Page is P. A note is ME, because do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So it's a musical note. And that P and the me are surrounding the word hone, H-O-N-E here, which means to polish. If you polish something, you hone it. Gosh, this does look like I could put fret around the outside of this. Lays in Manhattan. Lounge, okay. The Manhattan area is not referring to anything to do with New York. It's saying it's somewhere where you might be able to buy or drink a Manhattan cocktail. Lovely clue. Ah, so is this something like calendar or something like that? About is circa, or calends. 50 is L, tips are N's, and I bet you that this is some sort of Roman date. So it does look like I've got to put freshet in here, because I worry it just fits the wordplay so well. Again, it's not really a word I know. Let's submit that and we can check it. There we go. It is correct, so that's good news. Now let's see if I can just get Chambers Dictionary up. There are a couple of things I wanted to point out. So let's have a look at freshet first. Now we can see a stream of fresh water, a flood. So you learn something new every day. That's my word of the day. Cleanse, there we go. It can be spelled with a K as well. The first day of each month in the ancient Roman calendar. Well, there you go. And finally, the one I was most worried about, a horehound. There it is, 2 spellings of this as well. A hoary labiate plant, once popular as a remedy for coughs. Wow. So the compiler was reasonably kind to us because it was very heavily signalled that this would be how the word was built up, but it's certainly not a word I knew. Anyway, so I hope that was useful. Fridays are never going to be easy, so if you're just starting out on your journey on learning how to do the Times crossword, don't worry if this seemed absurdly difficult. Once you have a bit of practice, they're much, much easier than you might think. Anyway, so I hope this was enjoyed. If you like the channel, please do subscribe, and we'll see you again next time, cracking the Cryptic.